Okay, so let me, it's okay, I'll start the video. Okay, so we will start with HTML basics first. And so for to be a web developer, web app developer, basically I taught to be a web developer, web app developer, and not just a web developer. Like, so web developer you can become anywhere, but I teach to be a web developer through which you can change your career, you can go into any field. So for that also the main framework is React. So for that, you have to know React to go and work for any company in India or anywhere in the world, any big, small startup, big startup, service company, anywhere. React is in huge demand. But for React, you should know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So that's why I'm taking this bootcamp, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. React is next weekend, and we'll come to that later on. So React will be also like this. A Zoom call will be there, and 6 hours class. So that will be a mini ReactJS bootcamp. Okay. So for that, first we'll go into HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And if you know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React, you are done. Means you know. And I will also tell you how to proceed further. So because these all are mini boot camps, so I will be in a bit of hurry, not going through in detail everything. Okay, so but you can always ask questions. So as all developers, I'm also using VS Code. If you don't have VS Code, please do install it, because that is how developers work, especially the front-end developer. Mainly we are going to become a front-end developer. So front-end developers works like that with VS Code. VS Code I have already installed. This is Windows terminal. And also after that, I have a HTML basic folder. Okay, so here I will open it with VS Code. So VS Code is in my path also. So VS Code will open like this. I have an empty folder. Let me close it. And then, and one more thing, today we are going to do HTML and CSS, and tomorrow is JavaScript time. Okay, so in basics index.html I'll do in the HTML basics. And so HTML stands for hypertext markup language. I think I don't have to tell that hypertext, and it is through the which you get the structure in a website, all the structure and all you get through this. So, and HTML is not considered a programming language. It is just considered a markup language because there are no logics in it. So index.html I will do, and there is a shortcut in VS Code. If I give not and then press the tab, I will give this, get this skeleton. So we'll come to this skeleton. So this skeleton is like this doc type HTML is there. So this is HTML5, and all this metadata information are there, and then the title is there. So this title I will give HTML basics. I will give, and then I can give anything here inside the body. So whatever I push here, it will go to the title bar, and then I will give a h1 HTML basics and a paragraph tag, and it is lorem 20. I'll give and save it. So lorem 20 is again a shortcut, and there are two ways to do it. Okay, first way is to double clicking on this, and it will show. See this HTML basic, it has been showing, and h1 it has been showing, and this paragraph tag it has been showing. Okay, so we have just started, Asif. We have just started. So this is there, and this has been shown like this. So one way is to make the changes every time and click that thing. So that is not a way to good. So I've just started, Ramya. Actually I cannot go back because we are running on a tight schedule. So after this, so as I was telling that you can directly open it with double clicking on it and whatever changes you do, but that is not the way we developer do it. And we generally do it through an extension, and that extension is have a lot of extension, and that extension is known as live server, and you have to install it. So that is the power of VS Code. So we have a live server and extension which you, for me it is showing disable and uninstall. For you it will show enable when you search it here, and you enable it. And then what you need to do, you need to go to this index.html and then right click on it and open with live server. So what will happen every time if I make some changes here, like maybe yeah, lorem 30, I'll do, it is a bigger text, then it will instantly it will go there. Okay, so this is what it is all about, this live server extension. Okay, so next, this HTML page structure is like this doc type HTML is because it is HTML5. Earlier there was a bigger doc type, and then this is the head part where we put all the metadata information which is sometimes required by the browser, but we don't need to know. And this title is something which is, comes here, HTML basics, which will come here. And then the body is where our main code is there. So h1 then p, all those things. And now what we are going to do, we are going to look into very important tags. Actually there are thousands of tags in HTML and we should not know all of them. If you want to reference, there is a W3 site, we can go and reference there. But the main thing which we need to do is to learn the main tags, and we should know those main tags. And even if the syntax we don't know, we should know what they do, what the functionality they do, so that we can go and check in the W3 site, W3 school site, or MDN site is also there. Okay, so first I will do h1. So first we'll look into heading tags. So h1 is there. So it is till h6. So h1 is there, then h2 is there, h3 is there, h4 is there, h5 is there, h6 is there. So it is heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, and yeah, their heading tag, and heading 5, and till h6 only they are there, heading 6. So this 6 tags are there. If I open it, they are of different sizes. H1 is of different size, h2 is h3, h4, and we never use beyond h3 because h4 is h4 is so small, h5 is so small, even the paragraphs are bigger than that. And we can control the sizes of the element from CSS also, but then also we have to give the heading tag. That is how we should give it. Heading should also always go to the heading tags. Now after that we have something known as paragraph tag, but before that we'll look into another tag, which is the comment tag. So for comment, developers always comment their code. So heading we will do, and then I will select it, and then there is a control backslash is there on the keyboard on the Windows. Control backslash I have to do. So, and it will give the comment, and comment will show the heading is there, and comment will show that. Okay, and it will not be shown in the browser. So every language have a different kind of commenting system. If I show if I do it and come here, it will not be shown. So it is for our own references. So next we'll see the paragraph. Okay, I'll see the paragraph. Okay, and paragraph tag is by P. So P I will do, and there is a shortcut in VS Code like lorem. If I give lorem and then press tab, it will give the lorem text, which is a very popular text which used to be done in printing earlier. So lorem text is a dummy text which is very popular. Then P I will do again, and lorem maybe 30 I will do, a bit bigger one. So save it, and both of them will be shown. See, both of them are shown now. Okay, so now it's a good time to learn about the inline and block level element. So inline element, so there are two type of elements in HTML. One are inline element and one are block level element. Till now, whatever we have seen, they are all block level element. See, after heading 1, there was a lot of space here. So heading 2 should have come here. Heading 3 should have come here, but it doesn't come because these are block level element and they take the new line. Similar to paragraph also. First paragraph came here, next paragraph came here. It didn't started from here. But there are certain elements which will start from your here only. So they are known as inline elements, and we will look on it when they come. So some of the example are span, image, and anchor tag. Okay, so now we are going to look on the links tag. We are going to look on it. Lorem plus tab you can give. Lorem and tab you give, and it will expand it. Okay, anchor tag. So we look into anchor tag, and here anchor tag are for links. Whatever the links you see in the site, they are for that. Anchor tag, I will put my site name, my main blogging site name, and learn web development like this, and save it, and I will get the link learn web development, and if I open it, it will open my site. So one issue is there, it opened my site in the same tab. It will so that is an issue, and generally that is not a desirable user behavior, that it opened in the same tab. So there in anchor tag there is a something known as target blank. We'll use that target. So let us give a different link. Let me give my YouTube channel link, and target is blank. So target is blank is the main thing. Okay, target is blank. I'll give. See, and as I was telling, this anchor tag is also inline tag, so it comes one after the another. This one is here, this one is here, and when you click on it, by default the browser make the color different. Okay, so I will click on the TWD, and it will open in a different channel, different tab. That is one of the main thing, and this is my channel. If you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. And so that is how it is. Okay, target equal to blank. Yeah, target equal to blank I am giving, and it will open in the new this target equal to blank. Okay, so next thing we are going to see are lists. So lists are very important. We'll see them. Lists. So lists will be used always. So we are going to see that. Okay, list is there. And one thing you might be seeing this without CSS means it is very ugly. It is just like plain thing. Nothing is there. Earlier when internet was launched in 1995, 1992 around, there was no CSS. So most earlier sites were like this only. So list is there. Then UL I'll do unordered list. Okay, so list are of two types. One is unordered list and another one is ordered list. Okay, so unordered list is there, and then inside the unordered list there is something known as list item. Okay, so actually I use a lot of shortcuts on VS Code. So a list item, I want 5 list items, so I'll into 5 I will do, and do press tab and it will create 5. actually item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4, and item 5. I'll do, and then save it and see. Unordered list means it will come like this, and this dot 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 will be there for unordered list. So similar to unordered list, there is something known as ordered list also. So let me copy this, and it is ordered list is OL, and the same item, and it will add the numbers 1 2 3 4 5. If I add something more, it will just add it 6. It ordering it is been done by the browser itself. Okay, so now we will come into one of the most important tags, that is a form tag. So forms will be used everywhere forms will be used. So we will check the forms tag. Okay, and in all code, forms are very important. So whenever you log into a site, there is a sign up form, there is a login form, and all those forms. Besides this also, there are a lot of forms. Always there will be more than 10-15 forms in a big project. Form, whatever you submit in any website or web app, there will be form. So form action we can omit for now. Label, name. So inside form tag we have different kind of things. One is label, and then other one is input. So every input have some label associated with it, which you should give. If you don't give also, it will work, but generally it is advised to have a label with everything. Input type text, and we can have a name equal to name, a unique name. Okay, like this. And label, we'll run this again. Age I can give, and input type is number I can give, and name equal to age I can give, like this. And if I save it, it will show in the form like this, name and age in the same line it will show. And name I can give anything, and age is a number, so I can either I cannot give any alphabet here, it will not take. I have to give the number here, or I can increase it like this. So these are the two things which are there, but you can see that they're again coming on the same line, because it is again inline and events. So to have it on different lines, we can use CSS, but we are not using CSS right now. So what we are going to do, okay, break row we can use, but there is another thing also we can use, which is wrapping with div, wrapping each of them with a div, because div is a div is a block level element, so we can do it like this. And generally we do it like this because when we are going to do CSS, we are going to style also based on this, so we can do this. So these two we are going to do, and see it will come here. But as Ramya told, we need something more also, means there is no space. See, there should be some space. So also we are going to use the break row also. So break row also we are going to use, and now we have some nice space there, and it is looking okay, not good but okay. So beside this, there are many other also options are there, like text area and drop down menus. So we are going to do the text area and drop down menu now. So again, let me do the break row, and div will be there, label, message, and text area, and new message. And okay, it is not coming. Okay, and now text area, yeah, text area have an ending tag. See, this input and all input doesn't have an ending. Rest of them, a lot of them have, but input doesn't have. And text area is like a big input box. So like this, it is a big input box in which you can type in the rows. So that is text area. And then after that, we have the drop down. We'll see the drop down, and div label is favorite color, and we'll have a select name is color. Right, it's okay. I think name is color, and inside this select we have something known as option. And option is the thing which you see the drop down option, maybe into 3 I'll do, and value will be red. It will be red, green. So whatever the value is, that is the something which gets passed to the your backend, your. So but whatever is this, see this capital letter is there, and that will be shown in the drop down. Yellow I will do, and I will save it and see this is red, green, and yellow. Okay, fill the tag for text area. I didn't got you. Fill the text for text area like this. This is the text area. Yeah, and I can do it, means anything I can write it here. Can you explain div? Okay, div doesn't have any special meaning. Div is just it is a block level element, and it is used extensively in HTML. People use this extensively, but it just is just a block level element. It just give the next row, and when you create big websites and all, we have to have sections in it. So we do it with div, and then we have to give the, when we'll run CSS, we will have a div, and then we can break into different section, and we'll give the CSS on the div. So that's what it is all about. Hope it answered your question. Now, okay, so now we will quickly learn checkboxes. Okay, so we will learn the checkbox now. So checkboxes, we'll learn a checkbox and your radio box. Okay, so those are the other important things. Okay, so div, and after this div I should have a break row. After every div I should have a break row, because it is not giving, I should have some spaces after that. Okay, yeah, it is okay now. After this div also I will have a break row, and another div I'll have, then label is what do you own. Okay, so break row. So I'll do a break row because I want it to be on a different site, and input is type text. It is not type text, it is type check box. Name is vehicle 1 and value equal to, so value is very important. Value is the thing which goes to the backend, and we are not learning right now backend. That is very advanced stuff. Bike and the label will be bike, and I will have another break row here. Let me save it. And if I come back, see this bike is there. Okay, this is not on for what I did, sorry. It will be inside it. So what do you want? And a bike will be there. Okay, okay, that was a mistake. I didn't use label. Okay, okay, okay. Default HTML structure, I use this like this, and not an tab we can use. So that was a mistake. I was just okay. So now it is coming. What do you own? Now after that, so checkboxes are used like that. So we can have different thing. Let me have two more. Vehicle 2, car, vehicle 3, boat, save it. Okay, so after this we will have all these three, and now we can select. So checkbox is something which you can select one, or you can select all, or you can select none. Anything like that we can do in the checkbox. So now the next thing which we are going to see is the radio box. Okay, so radio box we are going to see. So see, if you can see, form only is so important, and most of the things in HTML we are learning in form only. So radio box is used when we want to take only one input out of 2-3 inputs. So it is used at that time. So label is gender, break row, input type is radio, and name is gender, and value is male. Okay, so name is gender. One thing I will tell here, and after this label male and break row. So now female, okay, no, it will be gender only. So thing is that one thing in radio box, let me show quickly. So it will, like, I can select male, female, or others, only these three. changes it. So but one thing to notice is that here I can give the name as different thing, but here it should be same because they are all part of the same radio button. So or else it creates issue when we are doing some JavaScript thing, so it will create issue. So it should all be part of the same thing. Okay, JavaScript anyways we are going to do tomorrow. And then after that, in the form there is another important thing which is known as a submit button. Okay, so we can have a input type submit also, which creates actually a button. Input type submit is there, value equal to submit. Okay, save it. And if I come back here, I have a submit button. So it is creates a submit button. And when inside a form, the main thing is that when you create a submit button, we can use the either we can click, or we can use the enter also in a form. It will work. So this is how it is work without any styling and all. So this is how forms look, and this is how forms work. This is all about forms. And there are many other useful fields also. You should all go through W3 school. And nowadays in input type there are many things like you can even choose a calendar. You can choose a color, or you can choose even upload a file. So nowadays HTML have become very powerful. You can do a lot of things with that. Okay, after this form, okay, everything is going to the down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use after everything I'll use a hr means horizontal row. When you give a horizontal row, a line is been created. So this line will be created. I will have a horizontal row and a break row also, so that I have some spaces. So I have some space, and then I will start the next thing, and next thing will be button. Okay, button, and will be button. So this button will be there, and just a button. So this is a simple button. This is not a form thing. This is a simple button, and generally from JavaScript we attach some event listener to it, that we will see tomorrow. Okay, so after the button, one of the last tag which we will learn is the image tag. And image tag is like img. Okay, now we have to add an image tag. We can add some image here. So I go to download. Okay, maybe this one. Yeah, we'll have a new folder known as images and have it. pic.png will have, and it is there, pic.png. Now we will use, so image tag we use by means we have to give the, we are at this folder, so we have to give the complete path, which is images, and then we have to give pic.png, and alt tag is for if something goes wrong, then the alt message will be shown. So it is for that. So if I save it and see, I can see the image, and image is quite big. Okay, image is quite big. So with CSS we can control a lot of images, but here it is quite big. So we have 2-3 things. One is like the width is there, width 300, and height is also 200. Okay, save it. Now it will be small. So this is how it is there. Okay, So with this, HTML is this much only, means not much. The tags and all you can learn a lot. Go to W3 school and learn from there. Go to this side W3 schools. It is quite good. And learn HTML. You can learn all the tags are there, but the main tags are this much only. No need to learn for API graphics. Learn till form. It will be more than enough. Learn till form. This is how some actions for you, those who want to learn it. No, we don't have a closing in tag for image. So there are many things in which we don't have closing. We don't have here. We don't have an input. A lot of things don't have a closing. Okay. So now we are going to start with CSS. So for that, I'll stop this and okay. CSS Basics. So again, I have thing folder, and now again, even for CSS, I need index, or else CSS is full form of cascading style sets, and we through CSS only we put styles in a site or everything. CSS is very important, and also at the same time very tough. Most people don't understand it because it is often considered right brain, a little bit of artistic. Even a lot of developers don't do that much CSS. There are specialized people who build their whole career on CSS. So like this again, someone was asking, so I have to give a not, and then I have to give a tab. So this all features comes with VS Code and no other editor, VS Code only. And I have to give a tab and it will create. So here I'll give CSS Basics. Okay, CSS Basics I'll give. And then there are three ways to style CSS. One is the inline CSS, one is internal CSS, one is external CSS. So first we will see the inline CSS. So H1 will be there, and which will be hello world will be there. Save it, and if I open with live server, it will show like hello world. Now I want to style it. So first is inline styling. How I do the inline styling is style equal to color, and where styling is here only. It is not a good way to do, but sometimes if you have very less style, we can style it here itself. Blue, and save it, and it will be blue. So this is one of the way to is this style tag we have to put, and then color blue. This is how CSS has been done. The second way is known as internal CSS, in which what we can do, let us have a paragraph here. Paragraph is lorem 30. We have a paragraph here, and we'll put a style tag here. Okay, style tag, and inside the style tag P I will target. So P I will target, I have to write like this in a CSS, and color will be brown, which is by default is black. So color is brown, so the color became brown. So this is how the internal CSS works. This is another way, but we will use the uh, third way, which is known as the external CSS, and that is how most people use it, and that is how you should also use it. And for that, we will give a link CSS, and it is style.css it took by default. So style.css I will take, and style.css I will create style.css, save it, and now I can put any style here. Okay, so let us have a S3 here. CSS Basics course I will give, and now I have to target this. So H3 I will do H3 background color is aquamarine. So this also have our HTML colors. So these HTML colors there are some other ways also. I will tell more about it. So background colors. So this is how CSS we give. Okay, background color and all these things, and there are again thousands of CSS tags, but we don't have to learn all of them, but we should know the main one of them. Okay, because CSS, it takes lifetime to master if you want to master CSS. Okay, padding is 1%, and there are different types of CSS. Animation only takes a lot of time to master if you want to go towards the animation thing through CSS. Okay, so background color means the background color of any element. Color means the color, and padding is padding. So if I see this one, I was targeting H3. So the color is white. By default it is black. Background is this aquamarine, and some padding is there. This spaces it creates. If I don't give this padding, see, it will be here only, no space will be there. So this is padding. Now this thing is known as selector, this thing is known as declaration, and this thing is known as value. Okay, so now we will look into the colors in CSS. Okay, colors in CSS will look. So as we can see, this aquamarine white and padding, this type of color was there here. So there are 2-3 more ways to give color in CSS. So we just gave aquamarine. Okay, so let me show. So if you go to any site like this, you will have a color picker. Okay, you have a color picker, and there are 3 kind of way to give color. One is the color name which you have seen, but the most prominent way and way is to give it through hex value. So this is known as hexadecimal, and you cannot learn. There are millions of color with hexadecimal value. See, for red, all this I will click, it will become. So it is hex system, which is like FFF and till FFF, hexadecimal, from 000 to FFF. So it is hexadecimal, and there are 6 values will be there in the hexadecimal, and you have to give a hash, and you don't have to learn it. You have, see, I'm changing it, it is also changing. So some color picker you have to pick. The another system is RGB. So all the color which the humans can see can be is a combination of 3 color: red, green, and blue. So you can produce every color with which humans can see. So RGB is there, and red, green, and blue. So if you change something, change the redness of it, change the green of it, change the blue of it, it will change at that time. It will change to that color. You can do any color in the world, which you can do through hex, you can do through here also. And there is a third system which we don't use that much, which is known as HSL, which is a hue, saturation, and light. So hue is there, saturation is light, is and light, we give it like this. And if you can see, everything is for this. Through this also we can do everything. We use hex code and RGB the most. Hex code is the most one which we are used. So this is there, and then there are certain color name also which is supported by the browser, and which we have seen in your thing, which we have seen in the terminal, that like VS Code. This all color names are Indian red, light color, fire brick, salmon pink, and all these different colors are there, and all these different colors are there. Okay, so you don't need to learn all these things. Okay, so let us use those colors, different color system, and body is background color hash f4 f4 f4. I'll take, so like hex we can say, save it. And this is a lighter type of, is not white exactly. Okay, the color picker nowadays comes here also. If I move my mouse over here, the color picker will come. This is a VS Code feature, and it's very difficult to select, but let me do it from here. So this, like this, you can move it, and a pinkish kind of thing, okay, a pinkish kind of color has been shown. So this is like this. Then you can see, you saw that we can use a number, so we can use a name h1, color is brown, I can give, and we will choose a RGB also, color is RGB 1 2 3 comma 1 comma 49. Okay, it be 1 2 3, save it, and I can take this. Okay, so these are the three color systems which we have used. So similarly with the color systems, we have font also in CSS. So we have different fonts, like with font family we can do. So this all comes in the browser. There are some extra fonts are also there, which you can do from many different places, like Google fonts are also there. I'll not go through them right now. So Arial, Helvetica, Sans Serif, these all are inbuilt fonts. So you should you can learn about them. What are the fonts are there? So, and then you can use any one of them. Okay, and like this. And I have given 2-3 fonts. Why I have given 2-3 fonts? So what happens? The browser will first try to find this Arial font, which if it is not there, then it will go to Helvetica. If it is not there, then it will go to Sans Serif. Generally, it doesn't happen. These all three are very popular fonts. But sometime in Google font or some external font library you are using, and you will not, and that browser doesn't have that font. So see, there are different kind of browser, and because of that a lot of issues are there. All browser doesn't implement HTML in the same way. So a Safari doesn't implement it in the same way Mozilla Firefox do, or a Chrome does, or a, or your Edge does. But nowadays Edge and Chrome are quite similar because both of them are the same engine they are created. Okay, so that is like that. And then I will font family is there. Now paragraph is there. Okay, one sec. Okay, so paragraph, now we'll see some more thing, like font size is, we can give the font size like 20px, and font weight as bold we can give. So let me save it. So the font size will become bigger, and the, it has become bolder also. So these are two property, font size and font weight. Similarly, we have something known as line height is 1 point, line height is like maybe 5px. 5px is, let me mute some everyone. Why to mute? Yeah. Okay, guys. Okay, no problem. Okay, so line height I have to give 15px. Okay, if I give 15px, so it is moving, so I can give 20px also, and it is moving. So we can give the line height also like this, and this is all about the line height. And next we will see about classes and IDs. So this is not a good way to give anything. Body, H1, S3, P, all these things are not a good way, because it messes up with the global styles. So we generally have your classes and IDs. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll comment this out, because we are going to use from here only, and this is also, I'll remove this itself. Okay, so I'll wrap everything in a div, and there is something known as class. Okay, there's something known as class, and which have a box one. So the classes name we can take it multiple times. So classes are the way. So this div will be associated with this class, and now we can style this class. See this box one and all. So we can style this, and we save it. Save, nothing will happen now. I will directly do the class. Okay. So classes are used for CSS, giving styling to the CSS, and one of the use, that is the only use of classes to use in CSS. You'll see now. So instead of giving H1, S3, S3, it messes up things quite soon, because what happens, this H1, S3, P we are going to give, and if there are more P, then you will run out of this thing. And if there are 2P and you want to differentiate 2P, how will you differentiate? There are ways to differentiate, but it is very complicated way. So we give different things, different classes. And so box one I can give, and box one I can have some other background color, light yellow, light yellow I can give. Save it. And see, the whole div is been light yellows, because I have wrapped all the things in that H1, S3P. So this is how we use div. A section I have given the light, and that is light yellow. Okay, so this is how classes are there. And classes, one more thing is there, that classes have, we can use multiple times the same class name. See, box one again I am using S3. I will remove actually hello. We have web world, maybe I'll do. And if I save it, this hello web world is coming like this. Okay, but this paragraph I want to be it differentiated from this paragraph. And how will you differentiate it? So I can give another class here also, or I can use another thing which is known as ID. So ID, difference from ID and classes, the ID you can use only once. Classes you can use several times. See, this one is also box one, this one is also box one, but ID is unique. You cannot use it again. Second P I will do, and now ID I'll use second P. I'll come here, and then hash. ID start with hash second P. Okay, and then color is red. Hash. So classes goes with dot, and IDs goes with hash. So hash second P I will give, and then if I come back, so see, will be shown in a different color. So that's why IDs and classes are very important. We cannot keep on changing every time everything. Okay, so this is all about, and now we will look into, okay, one important thing which is known as positioning in CSS. Okay, positioning in CSS. So there are relative so this positioning is used nowadays also a lot, and everywhere you see you want to fix something, you'll use this positioning. Okay, so we'll learn about the positioning. So there is static, relative, absolute, and fixed. Static, nothing to say, because everything is by default it is static only. So we'll come here, and here I'll have, let's have a horizontal row and a break row also. And dot, and I'm using some shortcut position box. If I do like this, it will create a dot and then tab and then the class it will do. Okay, h1 css I'll do, and h2 I'll do crash course. So it's a really a crash course. I'm doing it very fast. And break row. So if you don't know anything, HTML says this is a very good crash course, and you get your fit weight, and you know that okay, this is the right thing for me. Okay, so classes is like this position box. I've given one div with class of position box which have h1 and h2. If I see here, so it is there like this, it is been there. Okay, did I? Okay, so it is there. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this position box dot position box, and width I can give here. So width is a property through which we can give some width to anything, means 800 px. And there is a property known as height also, so we can give the height is again 800 px, and we'll give a border also, border which is 1 px solid black I will give. Okay, so if I go here, so see this thing has been created, 1 px solid black, and width is 800 px, and height is way too much. I don't want this much height, and 500 px only. So it is like this, 500 px has been created. So by default it is a natural order. Position changes the order. See, this is static. H1 and H3 both are known as static. Position is static, but we in with CSS we can move it anywhere. Okay, so now I will choose this h1. Okay, and in this page there are many h1, so either I can give a class here, or there is another trick to choose it. As I told, there is a different way to choose it, but it's a bit tougher. So that way is like this. Position box I will take, and I will give a h1 here. So position box h1 means, see, in this page there are many other h1s are also there. So this is inside box one, this is inside box one, and this is inside position box. So I am choosing this dot position box and then h1. So it will choose this one only, position box h1. And now I will do, so I'm choosing this h1 css h1. Okay, and then I will go give position absolute, and top is 40 px. Save it. So with position absolute or all, we have access to 4 properties: top, left, right, and bottom. So those 4 we have. And then if I go back, see, the css is not there anymore. You cannot find the css anymore here. So where did the css gone? If you come here, the css is here. Css is by default came here, because we have made from top 40 px, but this is not where we wanted it. And this happened because when you take a position absolute, it takes the whole page as a parent, and it will move from the top 40 px. We don't want it like that. So what we are going to do, we want it to be moved inside that box only which we have created. So position absolute we have taken, and here I will come here and I will do position its parent. It is always about this parent. I will make it parent as position relative. So this is to fix that issue. Now position relative I made. See, now the css is back here, but actually css was on the top of crash course, but I have moved it from the top 40 px, means from here I move it 40 px down. So it is top 40 px like this. I moved it. Now this is how it is there, and we can use for like this, like save. 140px also I can move, and top, and let me move left also. Left also I'll move 200px, and left also it moved. Now let us move the crash course also. So h2 question absolute, and we'll use the other two thing, bottom and right. Bottom is 40px, right is maybe 300px. So see, it has also moved from the bottom 40px and from the right 200px. So this is how we can do it, okay, with this. And with this we are done with css crash course also. And the next thing which I have told, will teach the Flexbox and Css Grid. So they are the way to go, Flexbox and Css Grid, and you should always learn them first. They are very modern. One was done in 2010 and another one is 2015, and through that only you should style. You should not learn the libraries like Bootstrap and all of those first, because Flexbox and Grids are very powerful. Okay, so we'll look into that in the second session.